Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. To those of you that are new to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Those of you who have been with me, who continue to support my work, I can't tell you how much that means to me. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about the energies. I have been trying to make some posts, but sometimes posting and being able to do a video are two different things for me. And so there's some stuff that are coming through right now that I want to talk about, especially based on the identity shift that we are going through at this time. And I know many out there are feeling a lot of fear right now and anxiety over what is taking place with the election. But I want to assure you that everything is okay. And this is happening for a reason. It's happening because, well, for one, yesterday I was offline completely, anchoring light codes and bringing through some energy to Gaia, to the planetary consciousness, to support this transformation that we're about to undergo. And it started the night before, and then yesterday I was like truly offline all day. I couldn't really get out of bed. When that happens, it's just a matter of just anchoring the codes and clearing. So I was seeing a lot purging through the living libraries in Gaia, as we're still integrating many of the distortion timelines that are still running. Those Armageddon timelines of disaster and all, those are completed. Those are all done. So we don't want to feed into that. But what I am seeing is this new shift in identity within the collective. And I have this awareness that we are healing generational imprinting of trauma that has been handed down centuries. And I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about this, and what I mean by this is we're seeing it playing out on both divine feminine, divine masculine, right? So for men, it's been centuries. I mean, going back to, the days of, Egypt and building the pyramids, or so the story goes, and feeling the, that whole, where, there was a caste, right? Socially, there was a caste where you had the pharaohs and then you had the workers, and that was pretty much it. There was no middle class. It was either upper class or lower class. And so that represented more like slaves, right? And then again, we saw it through the Roman Empire with the gladiators. And then, sometimes gladiators were friends and were made to fight each other to the death. And men had that as another stressor. And then, throughout history, men have always been challenged with having to be great providers, great lovers, creating offspring, especially male offspring, to carry on the name, to be amazing hunter-gatherers if they were hunting for food, to make sure that they bought that home. And if they were working a job, make sure it was a corporate job where they were making a lot of money and were able to afford a really good house and drive a really good car. And so there was a lot of pressure on the divine masculine to take on those roles, right? And then on the flip side of that, we had the divine feminine playing out the role of being a great mom and making sure that they had children and, creating offspring and able to bear children, and take care of the home and take care of the husband and, be sexy and all this other stuff. And so we've been playing these roles, whether you realize it or not, for centuries. And there has been a lot of pressure on both sexes, divine masculine, divine feminine, playing out these roles that were identities that were handed to them, that were created through centuries of generational imprinting, right down the family line, what your family believed you should do or could do, or how it was meant to be. And then we could break that down into societal rituals based on different cultures. And so we're, this is really being pulled out of the collective now, as we are being pushed together into oneness, into unity, into love. And So what is happening here is we are seeing this playing out in this delay of the whole election process, and however long that takes and whatever that's going to look like, so that more can wake up, more can come into themselves, more can see the manipulation, the abuse of power, the storyline, the narratives that we have all been playing under and playing these roles to very well. But what's happening now is as Gaia is releasing, as we're coming into December 21st, we're already in December energy now. So those of you that have been feeling like Christmas, like myself, I've been feeling Christmas and excited about Christmas. And I thought to myself the other day, why doesn't my neighbor have his crazy Christmas decorations up? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. We haven't even gotten through Halloween yet or Thanksgiving. I'm already on Christmas. There were times over the last week that I was in May's energy, May 2021. So, you know, I'm seeing all of this shifting in energy as we're shifting these timelines very, very quickly. And this is part of the work that I do. So I'm very, very aware of what's taking place. Well, so what's happening now is the collective consciousness is going through a collective shift, a collective awakening. And I'm starting to see more men awakening and coming online and letting go of the anger that they have been feeling for years and years and years. That is anger that's been handed down through centuries, where it's manifested into heart problems, heart situations that are going to start clearing now the more we can open to love and come into love. And I'm also seeing this with women in how they view themselves, their bodies, how they look at men, and how they have, you know, treated men in the past. It's unbelievable to see all of this unfolding. And what I'm seeing is the collective whole of men and women starting to really come together and unite, coming together in unity, letting down the wounding so that healing can happen as we come more into our hearts and start to love each other. Because for my ladies out there, I want you to know men have been wounded just as much as women have been wounded. And for my men out there, I see your wounding. Women are seeing your wounding. And we're loving you, holding you in love, and would like you to hold us in love. And so what that means right now is that we need to start speaking to each other with love. Start listening to hear, and not be in our heads formulating our next thought in a reactionary way, but hear each other, really hear from our heart. And this is forging, branding a new identity among the collective, and a new identity within those countries that are outside of the United States, right? Because they have been under that same manipulative abuse of power that we've been under for centuries, And so they are watching to see what happens within the United States. They are waiting to see, and I want to assure them that this is going to come out with the highest goodness to it, because it's already been divinely orchestrated. There is only the highest outcome possible. So be at peace, sisters and brothers. This is going to be okay. And so we are looking at a new global identity forging moving forward, as there will be this release of tension within all collective experiences, where we will be seeing each other with joy and love, knowing if we can do this, then other countries are right behind us doing this, and suddenly freedom happens for all, not just some, but for all. And love is our divine right. Freedom is our divine right. As we are feeling more and more into freedom each day, those light codes, the freedom codes, were activated last July of 2019 and have been building to this moment to push us through this experience that we're collectively going through. And now, as we're seeing our identity shift and letting go of who we are not, who we've been playing in this role, this persona that we've held, we can now look to ourselves and say, well, who do I want to be in this new me that is emerging, that is unfolding, that is no longer playing into the fear, into the manipulation, into the abusive powers that have been repressing all of us on a global level for so long? What would that look like? And I know for me personally, the reason I'm doing this talk on identity is because over the last month, since I've gotten more and more into my painting and my artwork, I'm finding myself really feeling drawn to it on a level of wanting to be an artist. And that takes me back to the identity in my pureness and my wholeness when I was a child. And I did do art and I felt very connected to art. And so I'm seeing that identity re-emerge. So I'm also seeing this happening within some of the experiences of those that I am working with in my one-on-one sessions or in my classes. It is starting to come to the forefront for those that have been doing their work, that are clearing out the distortions, that are clearing out the wounds and the trauma so that there can be full healing, and now stepping into their identity of who they are in their authentic self. And that's a beautiful thing to see. And so I am really excited for this because I'm seeing this unfolding throughout the collective in amazing ways. Amazing. I am so excited about this because we have not really known who we are in our most authentic self. We have been playing roles that have been handed down to us. We've really done a great job defining those roles and really sticking to those roles in the thought process of that is who we are supposed to be, or that's who we were designed to be, when that is not our truth as a soul. And what we're going to find is that we're starting to peel away this generational trauma, these timelines that are leaving not only Gaia, but our physical field, as we're anchoring more and more light coming to the end of this year. We need to just stay in these higher timelines and play in this higher lighthearted energy. And if you have to, look away from what is playing out in the lower levels. I don't look there so that I could be in time with what I see unfolding for the collective experience. So if you're having a hard time watching what is unfolding with the election, don't look. It's the movie. Do something else. Paint, draw, dance, create, work on whatever it is that you've been putting off, because maybe that's part of the new identity that you're creating within yourself. So these energies are lifting us so high right now. We are emancipating ourselves from all of the old stories, from all of the old narratives that we've been living under. I can't tell you how huge this is. And so I want you to just allow yourself to be centered. And if you're struggling with what's going on, do a little centering work. Come into your heart center, close your eyes, come into your heart center. And as you come into your heart center, really fully drop your consciousness down into your heart center. And as you drop into your heart center, you'll know when you're fully there because you'll feel it throughout your whole entire body. And as you feel yourself dropping fully into your heart center, just start breathing in and out through your heart, as if that was the only place you could breathe in and out through. And in that moment, allow yourself to be connected with your inner being. And then while you're doing that, I want you to imagine that directly around you, around your shoulders, encompassing your heart, going all the way up, is a chamber, is a column, the ascension column or the toroidal tube, the tube torus, whatever you want to call it. And just imagine yourself now taking yourself from that heart space center and just going up through all energy centers, going up through the crown, going up that tube torus, that ascension column, and allowing yourself to connect to higher states of being, to versions of you that are on higher timelines, that are future versions of you, that are waiting for you to make a connection with them, waiting for you to step in more fully to the identity that is true for you as you continue to let go of all of that which is not your truth. And as you are ascending your ascension column or your tube torus, breathing through that light that is surrounding you, letting yourself explore, letting go of any thoughts, and just feeling yourself in that higher aligned place, letting yourself float freely up into whatever dimensional state of being, whatever frequency feels most comfortable for you. And then allow yourself to just stay there and meditate, manifest all of these new realities that are waiting to connect with you as your future self is abundant with all new everything for you that is waiting for you. And as you hit these higher frequencies, magic will happen. As you hit the frequency that more money is on, abundance, the house you're desiring is on, the new car that you're desiring is on, the new relationship you're desiring is on, whatever it is that you are desiring. In that desire, you're moving up into the higher frequency where that happiness and joy exists, where it resides on the higher timelines. So just let yourself be playful and explore. Let yourself bring through your new identity as it starts to unfold, not trying to control it, allowing whatever that is going to look like. Not sitting in any judgment of yourself, but just receiving, being a good receiver, allowing yourself to know yourself as source energy, as an ascended master here to create in the experience that you are having in this human form. And allow this transmission to just work through you. And if you are finding it useful and helpful, know that you can come back to this anytime you want, replay it as much as you want, and allow this transmission to fill you, to assist you, to support you in your transformation into your new, authentic identity that is you. So with this, I'm going to close out this transmission. I thank you for all of you for joining me. Thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting again soon. And I will be bringing through whatever updates are necessary as we move through these next couple of weeks. Rejoice and celebrate as the timelines are shifting higher. If you are not feeling it yet, that's okay. Come within, let go of the outside and go within. See the illusion that is surrounding right now and know that you are safe. Thank you again for joining me. I love you. Have a wonderful whatever you are doing. See you soon.